and local people, and even you too. You know, you don't have to be from the island to do island things. You have it in your heart, and it's up to us to get it out. So what we got, guys? Look at they're quiet. They was just looking at me talking and talking like, oh, wow.
In there.
I didn't have to say nothing.
Well, I guess what we wanted to kind of recap, and Donna wants us to say who we are again. So I'm Kau'isai Dua. I run the Hawaiian Language Newspaper Project and Uamau Ke'ea, the Historical Project.
And I'm Puakea Nogelmeyer. I'm a professor of Hawaiian language at UH, and I'm the exec director of Awaiaulu.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. You guys are on a great mission here. And I thank you guys for coming to Ozcat Radio and letting us help you share the information.
Yeah, mahalo ya.
Because I know you guys got plenty more information, and I know that Casinos is calling sister because it's her birthday.
11/11/11.
Well, how sweet it is, man. But I thank you so much to take the time out to come down to our studio because, you know, we're a nonprofit organization ourselves. Yeah. So when I heard that you guys were nonprofit and you had to get a word out, I said, you guys got to come down here. So spread the word, sister. Tell us what's happening. What's on your mind?
Well, I think that what's important here is it can be confusing because we're here doing two different things.
Exactly.
We have two different projects and people see them as two separate projects. But for us, this is one thing. It's all about Hawaiian knowledge, sharing Hawaiian knowledge, extending the information, sharing the resources, and making them available. So whether we're talking Hawaiian knowledge in language, Hawaiian language, or we're talking about historical references or newspapers, it's all the same thing. You know, for all of us, if you're born in the islands, you know, we learn certain things. We learn a history when we're young. That's not so good. I mean, it's not so empowering for Hawaiian people and everybody in Hawaii. As we grow up and we learn different things, it's important that we kind of stop and look back at what is happening to the next generation.
Exactly.
Because what we experience. So for myself, you know, learning what I learned, then going back and doing the research myself, it's important now that we stop and teach what's really happened to our people, what the history of Hawaii, why to what happened before.
Exactly.
It's really important.
Put the links together.
Put the links together. But the newspapers, the Hawaiian language newspapers, they run from 1834 to 1948. It's 114 years of Hawaiians writing about themselves, to themselves, and engaging in dialogue and discussion about what went on. So all the things that we do know, the pieces we do know, we know about Kamehameha, we know there was an overthrow, we heard about annexation, all the things we know a little bit about are actually detailed in the newspapers. Yet history and what is taught and what comes down to us is not detailed. So we need to connect back. This is about making connections back to where we come from, right?
Exactly.
There's a Hawaiian saying, "Okeawi hala kalamaku, okeala ike kupu kupu." The past is the beacon that will guide us to the future. So it's important to see the future. We've got to hook to the past.
Yes.
And so everything that we're bringing here is from them. We are just the messengers. It's not our, you know, we're not the brilliant ones. All we're doing is passing it along.
Exactly.
So we have a historical project. We have a historical legacy movement, I guess is what we're doing. For the last 10 years, Ho'olaupa'i, which is the Hawaiian Language Newspaper Project, we struggled. It struggled because it's not sexy enough. Hawaiian language newspapers, if you don't speak the language, people get really excited about what we're doing. Oh, you're going to make it searchable. You can go in there. You can find your kupuna. You can find all these things. But it's still in Hawaiian. Exactly. Well, yeah, because it's the language that they spoke.
Not many people talking it. Yeah.
And it takes too long. It's a long project. There's 125,000 pages of newspaper, which equates to 1.5 million pages of 8.5 by 11 text. It's large.
It's huge.
So funding kind of, you know, dried up.
Exactly.
What we decided is we're right now facing a point where there's a proposal now to take what's left, the 60,000 pages, send it down to Cambodia for really a little bit of money.
No, man,
yeah,
that's
it's
not
real
right.
cheap, but it's also, it's not good. What would come back is still not searchable.
Exactly.
But everybody would think it was done. But then also, nobody in Hawaii has an investment in it. It's just kind of handed off,
We lose
put
that
in place.
connection.
Exactly.
If
That's
this is
what
not
we need.
clean. So what we're trying to do is get, you know, we figure everybody don't have money. People don't have, you know, times are tough. but everybody's got to have a little time.
Oh.
Everybody can type, everybody can push, whether it's the way you type
Yeah.
or the
yeah.
way, you know,
The 2-finger kind or the 10-finger
anything. You
kind.
can do
yeah.
a page and be a part of this big project.
Oh yes, that's for sure. That's great, man. You know, I love what you guys doing, and I love what the history is coming all about. And I love you guys coming in here and telling us about it. But you do have another thing going on too, right?
The history video.
Yes.
Yeah. The history video and the textbook.
Yeah, you don't even need read.
Well,
Just watch the video, man.
Well, you know, okay, I'll give a little background on that. For about the last 20 years, you know, I've been a Hawaiian researcher. Myself, my cousin Keanu Sai, he has his PhD. His doctoral dissertation was based on Hawaiian history. And my brother. We got together, well, the Pu'a Foundation, which was created out of the Apology to Native Hawaiians and the United Church of Christ, they created an organization called the Pu'a Foundation. The intention of the foundation was to help rehabilitate, and what's that other word? You know, one of those words.
but it's to ameliorate, to help diminish the problems that were caused
By
the
the
church's
missionaries.
involvement in the overthrow. That's why they apologized in 1993, because the churches actually were involved in the overthrow of Lili'u.
Right.
So this was their way, you know, to make a movement to make things better.
Yeah.
But they didn't know how to make things better. They fumbled around, they tried a lot of different pieces, and then they sort of latched onto this team and the discussion of, you want to make things better today, give Hawaiians and Hawaii back its history. Give a clear history.
Because for the 14 years that they were fumbling around there, they went and helped a lot of Hawaiians. They did little things to help Hawaiian people, Hawaiian projects. But what they found was, in talking to people, what they were discovering is Hawaiian people have a lot of anger, but it's not connected to any facts. It's just kind of loose anger focused on anyone who's lighter than us.
Exactly.
But I mean, and it's misplaced. So what they figured that they wanted to do was create an educational component, because if you educate people about the history, it'll help reconcile the past, and healing can begin.
Exactly.
Because the historical ignorance it affects you today. If we think that our kupuna were, you know, taken and stolen from and everything, you know, it's not going to make you feel real good.
Well, it's real confusing. On the one hand, you honor the kupuna and we honor ancestral knowledge, and then on the other hand, you're saying, but they were
They were
fooled.
too stupid to keep it together.
Yeah, they were taken advantage of. They were. Wait a minute, how do you put that together?
Exactly.
So the notion of being able to highlight the details, so you know what really did go wrong, where did things go right, give history with its warts and bumps and
Exactly.
pieces.
You want to know the truth, what happened.
Then you can
As it went.
you can let go of things, or you can fix things, or you can adjust to things. But if it's just a fuzzy, you know, a misdirected anger, you don't know where to direct things. Well, you know, that
And
doesn't
then-
ever go
Right.
anywhere.
And the unaimed arrow never misses.
Yeah. You can.
You know, so that's what that project was about. We
And
got
that-
together and we did
And
that.
that's the project you're running out of funds on by next year?
No. This is that was
George, stay with us
yeah,
here.
yeah. This is the history. It's a history text.
Okay.
And a history video or DVD that are meant to be a framework to be used in classes, to be used in homes too.
It's resource material. Okay? It's resource materials to allow teachers.
Yeah.
Because teachers today, they can't teach this either. They don't know enough history.
Exactly.
So, Wamaukea is the name of that project. It's sponsored by the Pu'a Foundation, and that's a Hawaiian historical collection.
Oh, okay,
A
okay.
textbook and a historical DVD.
Yes.
That's one. This side is Ho'olaupa'i and Awaiaulu, two Hawaiian organizations, have come together to do this volunteer drive to complete the Hawaiian language newspapers
Oh, okay.
with the
To
help
make them
of volunteers to help to get this done in a
Gotcha.
year's time.
Gotcha.
And even if, you know, the website is up where you can already search the newspapers that have been done. In the 15,000 that are up, you can search. So if you looked for your family name, or if you wanted to find, the other night I looked for Kalihi, because I live in Kalihi, and there were 700 articles in that piece. But remember, that's only 1/5 of what's really
What's
there.
really out
So
there,
you
yeah.
figure there's probably 3,500 articles out there. And a real good example, we did a science research piece. We were given funds to find weather material. So in a week, we found 500 articles connected to the weather, right? But then they had to, my students had to manually search the rest of it. That took 4.5 months.
Whoa.
We found 3,500 more articles.
No
So there were
kidding.
4,000 that we found. But we did the 500 in a week. We could have done the whole 4,000 probably in 2 weeks. If
the
it was all
whole collection
searchable.
was done.
So making it all searchable is sort of
Exactly.
step one to feed into projects like Kauai's History Project.
Exactly.
You know, to be able to make this a lot easier and a
So you
lot
can pull it
faster.
up.
How far back does the newspaper go?
1834.
1834?
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
Right.
Wow.
And it's not like newspapers today. So,
No.
I mean, in ways it is. There's, you know, all the current events and around the world and current events in Hawaii, opinions and lots of that. But by the 1850s, the whole nation can read and write. And they're encouraging the whole nation to, those of you who are knowledgeable, put it here in the newspapers. It'll be safe. So people who have held older knowledge for sometimes 2 and 3 generations suddenly put it in the newspapers. And they say, those of you who are knowledgeable, put it here. Those in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and 130 years will need it. It's so intentional. So just recently, I wrote an article about, I found a chant composed by Kamehameha I,
Oh.
by the conqueror of the islands. Nobody even knew that he had ever composed a mele. He composed it for the birth of his son.
Oh, yeah.
And now someone had memorized that, and 2 generations later, they put it into the newspapers. What's important is that the nation felt that that was a safe deposit box. So when he put it in the newspapers, he explained that this is what I've learned, this is what I know, you know, from the time of Kamehameha. If anyone can correct this or make it better, please do, you know. But otherwise, here it is. I know, it
Yeah.
gave me
Yeah.
chicken skin when I found it.
Yeah, see, you know, this is a lot of information. If not with you guys picking it up and bringing it out to everybody, we would lose it. You know, we really appreciate that, you know, keeping it going and keeping it. What's the websites now that we can go to?
Waiaulu.org. So it's AWAIAULU.
And for the Mau Historical Project,
Exactly.
it's Pu'a Foundation, so PUAFoundation.org.
All right. See, we gotta keep repeating that so
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
keeps
do.
knowing that. And
Because anybody can log on. You don't have to speak Hawaiian to do this.
Exactly.
You just have to be able to see the letters. Now, you know, a page of the newspaper will send out a picture. You can make it as large as you want on your computer.
exactly.
But it's not fascinating work. I mean, it's boring, but it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So if, you know, I mean, typing anything is going to be, you know,
Okay.
for some
Hey.
folks it'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, this is great. Hey, it's Aloha Friday morning right here at Ozcat Radio, and we really appreciate them coming in and giving us some information and some lowdown what's happening and how you can help. And what was that website again, brother?
Awaiaulu.org.
Oh, yeah.
AWAIAULU.org.
Yeah.
And
And
PUAFoundation.org.
PUAFoundation.org.
See, that's 2 websites that you can help. And like they said, you don't have to be from the islands. You just have to have that Aloha spirit. And everybody's got it, and it's up to us to bring it out. So we're going to keep the ball rolling here. We're going to talk story a little bit. But who can take us out? Brother is himself. Hey, it's Aloha Friday morning right here at Ozcat Radio, 89.5 on that FM dial, KZCT, Vallejo's own community radio station. I'm DJ George the Plumma. I'm your hometown DJ. And all I ask is enjoy. And remember this word, kokua. We can do something. We got to kokua together. As one, we can accomplish